Preface. Welcome to Intermediate Algebra 2E, an OpenStax resource. This textbook was written to increase student access to high-quality learning materials, maintaining highest standards of academic rigor at little to no cost. About OpenStax. OpenStax is a nonprofit based at Rice University, and it's our mission to improve student access to education. Our first openly licensed college textbook was published in 2012, and our library has since scaled to over 35 books for college and AP courses used by hundreds of thousands of students. Our adaptive learning technology, designed to improve learning outcomes through personalized educational paths, is being piloted in college courses throughout the country. Through our partnerships with philanthropic foundations and our alliance with other educational resource organizations, OpenStax is breaking down the most common barriers to learning and empowering students and instructors to succeed. About OpenStax resources. Customization. Intermediate Algebra 2E is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 International (CC BY) license, which means that you can distribute, remix, and build upon the content, as long as you provide attribution to OpenStax and its content contributors. Because our books are openly licensed, you are free to use the entire book or pick and choose the sections that are most relevant to the needs of your course. Feel free to remix the content by assigning your students certain chapters and sections in your syllabus, in the order that you prefer. You can even provide a direct link in your syllabus to the sections in the web view of your book. Instructors also have the option of creating a customized version of their OpenStax book. The custom version can be made available to students in low-cost print or digital form through their campus bookstore. Visit your book page on openstax.org for more information. Art attribution in Intermediate Algebra 2E. In Intermediate Algebra 2E, most art contains attribution to its title, creator or rights holder, host platform, and license within the caption. For art that is openly licensed, anyone may reuse the art as long as they provide the same attribution to its original source. Some art has been provided through permissions and should only be used with the attribution or limitations provided in the credit. Errata. All OpenStax textbooks undergo a rigorous review process. However, like any professional grade textbook, errors sometimes occur. Since our books are web-based, we can make updates periodically when deemed pedagogically necessary. If you have a correction to suggest, submit it through the link on your book page on openstax.org. Subject matter experts review all errata suggestions. OpenStax is committed to remaining transparent about all updates, so you will also find a list of past errata changes on your book page on openstax.org. Format. You can access this textbook for free in WebView or PDF through openstax.org, and for a low cost in print. About Intermediate Algebra 2E. Intermediate Algebra 2E is designed to meet the scope and sequence requirements of a one-semester intermediate algebra course. The book's organization makes it easy to adapt to a variety of course syllabi. The text expands on the fundamental concepts of algebra while addressing the needs of students with diverse backgrounds and learning styles. Each topic builds upon previously developed material to demonstrate the cohesiveness and structure of mathematics. Coverage and scope. Intermediate Algebra 2E continues the philosophies and pedagogical features of Pre-Algebra and Elementary Algebra, by Lynn Marachek and Marianne Anthony Smith. By introducing the concepts and vocabulary of algebra in a nurturing, non-threatening environment while also addressing the needs of students with diverse backgrounds and learning styles, the book helps students gain confidence in their ability to succeed in the course and become successful college students. The material is presented as a sequence of small and clear steps to conceptual understanding. The order of topics was carefully planned to emphasize the logical progression throughout the course and to facilitate a thorough understanding of each concept. As new ideas are presented, they are explicitly related to previous topics. Chapter 1. Foundations. Chapter 1 reviews arithmetic operations with whole numbers, integers, fractions, decimals and real numbers, to give the student a solid base that will support their study of algebra. Chapter 2. Solving linear equations and inequalities. In Chapter 2, students learn to solve linear equations using the properties of equality and a general strategy. They use a problem-solving strategy to solve number, percent, mixture and uniform motion applications. solving a formula for a specific variable, and also solving both linear and compound inequalities is presented. Chapter 3. Graphs and Functions. Chapter 3 covers the rectangular coordinate system where students learn to plot graph linear equations in two variables, graph with intercepts, understand slope of a line, use the slope-intercept form of an equation of a line, find the equation of a line, and create graphs of linear inequalities. The chapter also introduces relations and functions as well as graphing of functions. Chapter 4. Systems of linear equations. Chapter 4 covers solving systems of equations by graphing, substitution, and elimination, solving applications with systems of equations, solving mixture applications with systems of equations, and graphing systems of linear inequalities. Systems of equations are also solved using matrices and determinants. Chapter 5. Polynomials and polynomial functions. In Chapter 5, students learn how to add and subtract polynomials, use multiplication properties of exponents, multiply polynomials, use special products, divide monomials and polynomials, and understand integer exponents and scientific notation. Chapter 6. Factoring. In Chapter 6, students learn the process of factoring expressions and see how factoring is used to solve quadratic equations. Chapter 7. Rational expressions and functions. In Chapter 7, students work with rational expressions, solve rational equations and use them to solve problems in a variety of applications, and solve rational inequalities. Chapter 8. Roots and radical. In Chapter 8, students simplify radical expressions, rational exponents, perform operations on radical expressions, and solve radical equations. Radical functions and the complex number system are introduced. Chapter 9. Quadratic equations. In Chapter 9, students use various methods to solve quadratic equations and equations in quadratic form and learn how to use them in applications. Students will graph quadratic functions using their properties and by transformations. Chapter 10. Exponential and logarithmic functions. In Chapter 10, students find composite and inverse functions, evaluate, graph, and solve both exponential and logarithmic functions. Chapter 11. Conics. In Chapter 11, the properties and graphs of circles, parabolas, ellipses and hyperbolas are presented. Students also solve applications using the conics and solve systems of nonlinear equations. Chapter 12. Sequences, series and the binomial theorem. In Chapter 12, students are introduced to sequences, arithmetic sequences, geometric sequences and series and the binomial theorem. All chapters are broken down into multiple sections, the titles of which can be viewed in the table of contents.